I think so often part of our disenchantment is we think this isn't what I signed up for. Even in our own marriage, Catherine's brain had this abnormality in it. She had no idea, but it was there on our wedding day. She had had it her whole life, and it finally, when she was 26 and we'd been married several years, ruptured and exploded. In a way, I married that problem, even though we didn't even know she had it.
I knew when I married him, I married tremendous potential, which is always a key, is yes, in marriage, you marry somebody's problems and their past and all the things. But you also marry potential. You marry what they can become, and you get to do it together.
Why do you think people don't reach out for help? Why do they not? What keeps them from it?
There's so much shame associated with asking for help because it means you have to admit that something's the matter, that something's wrong in our situation, in our lives. And people don't reach out to their community, or most definitely not for any counsel outside a professional, because there's so much stigma attached to it still today. And I think that's really sad. When you get the oil change on your car before there's a problem even. Like, why wouldn't we do that with the most important relationship that we are in?
I think so often too, there are patterns of behavior or communication that aren't working and that have created some of the issues, or maybe keep you in a perpetual scenario of stress. It only makes sense that you need to bring in some external help. And I think there's every obstacle against doing that, probably because there's such a profound possibility of healing on the other side of it. And I think whether we self-sabotage or just bigger forces in the world, like there's a lot of obstacles against relationships and love and healing and hope. And I think we know from our work with families with disabilities, even with our own marriage, that the cost of therapy, the struggle just to carve out time in your week, these are all big issues and prevent a lot of people from getting help that they need. And frankly, if it was a medical issue, help that they would put at the top of their priority list. But how much more so when it's something in the depth of the relationship that could cause all of that to be over, if not tended to. And yet for some reason our culture, that's just not been given the weightiness of even changing the oil in our car for some reason. I think marriage has required a lot of different things than I ever thought marriage would require. And yet to see the kind of experience of love and connection that have come after years of just showing up every day for each other, not knowing what that would look like, not knowing if it would be the best day or the worst day or the last day of our lives. And there were many of those, all of them, in the course of our time together. And yet that experience of knowing that you're not going to be alone in this world, that somebody not only has your back, but will show up in the mess of it all out of love and sacrifice for you, changes how you view yourself in the world. And I think researchers even show like any marriage has about 3 iterations of it. The first one when you come together, the second one maybe if you have kids, the third when you're in old age, and certainly it can be even more if you have other externalities like major life issues that come up and just change who you are. And so I think if we start to tell each other that story, like marriage is not this, the relationship is not this concrete thing, it's this evolving and growing thing. Something that so often can become so much more beautiful and more profound than just this source of happiness.